Okay, good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, March 17, 2015 meeting of the Petaluma Community Access Board of Directors. Will the Secretary please call the roll?
Cindy Thomas.
Here.
Kathy Rivas.
Here.
Neil Fishman.
Here.
Rachel Moran. Mark Armillo.
Present.
Kim Williamson.
Here.
He thinks.
Okay.
Okay, we have a quorum.
I know you are.
Bertucci. Yes.
Okay, and Rachel did let us know that she couldn't be here tonight, so.
But we're not letting her off easy.
Okay, we have the quorum and is anybody here for public comment tonight? Seeing none, then we'll move to the director's comments and announcements. Anyone?
That's us.
Oh, I'm sure it's on the board here.
What?
Eggs and butter.
Yeah, we have that.
Well, I would like to introduce Jerry Kirkpatrick, who has, how would I put it, offered to join us, asked to join us.
Ask.
Yeah, he would like to join the board. And here's his application form, and you can pass that around. I think there's enough for everybody.
Well, thank you for your interest and welcome.
Are you sure?
I'm open to any questions. You follow Robert's Rules of Order, I'm sure, so.
We do.
Sort of.
Jerry went through our download from the retreat questionnaire, and I think I'll mention the adverbs he picked: sincerely, publicly, productively, and purposefully. And the adjectives were creative, artistic, conscious, authentic.
Nice.
Well, thank you.
What was the Irish Congress?
In San
The
Diego.
Irish Congress started McCarryman, I don't know, maybe 40 years ago, I guess, down on the pub in San Diego, and he was a good friend of mine. I brought technology to the Irish Congress because at the time they didn't even have a website. They didn't even know what the internet was, and my background's in technology. So I was helping them, I helped them to get started onto the internet, and they flourished afterwards. They're doing real well right now. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Are they a cultural group or a lobbying group or a political group?
They put on the parade every year. And
Okay.
the parade on a good parade is around 20,000. Typically it runs 10,000, 15,000. But it's probably the largest one on the West Coast, I assume.
Oh,
It
wow.
can't beat New York for sure, but Irish community in San Diego is very old. It's been around a long time. As a matter of fact, I'm outliving some of them that are on the Irish Congress. So when the parade happens, I've got kind of a soft heart for those that I worked with in the Irish Congress. I'll say this, I've been on submarines, I've been in data centers, and this is only the second time I've been in a studio. The first time was helping Zach pick out the sound dampening material that you see on the floor. I did some volunteer work here, helping
Nice.
Zach.
Well, thanks for that.
Jerry came in for some intern work, and he and Zach took all the computers apart and put them back together again.
Yeah, we did.
Now this is the point where I'm supposed to ask that given your background with Irish issues, do you think you can be objective in your... Oh wait, no, that was UCLA. I'm just making a joke. It's a really bad one, but
Bad or good as well.
there was the issue of this is at UCLA where somebody was coming to work for the paper, and because she had worked on Jewish publications or something, they asked her whether she could be objective in her approach to issues, and that became a national news story.
Oh, okay.
And I thought
Because it wasn't racist, right?
I don't know what it was. I have no opinion on the matter. I just thought I'd bring it up for no particular reason.
I see we're neighbors. I live in Southgate.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Right.
Oops. Cut that from the camera. No, just kidding. Don't come looking for me. All right, so, any other comments?
Easy to find by the dogs.
Yeah, I know.
Why did you guys take apart the computers?
Well, the objective was to install a new operating system, the latest and greatest, and the second objective was to install some applications, the latest and greatest. And he had a machine out there that was making a loud noise, and it had to be the hard drive. So we had to pull the drive out and replace it.
And you replace it? Nice.
Yeah. Zach he amazed me with the knowledge that he has with understanding how to do things in batch, very, very quickly and rapidly. And he had no fear when it came to pulling the drive out or anything on the machine. So,
Good.
so we got along very well, Zach and I.
And every time I run into Jerry around town, it's how's things at PCA?
Right.
So now you're gonna get some insights.
I've
Are you
asked
sure you
around
want to know
since
how
I've
the
been
sausage is made?
here.
I don't know, you think we can handle somebody who actually has some understanding and skill on the board?
We'll have to be careful,
Yeah, we will. Not
We
to
might
let
have
it-
to move to another room.
because currently the audience never really bothers us, right?
It has a very calming effect. I'll put that out there. So,
The audience.
no, this group.
Gotta
Lighthearted.
work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, any other announcements? The only thing that I would throw in is I am forwarding you the emails as I get them from the Chamber of Commerce, and I did make a comment about we'd love to see you at some of these mixers, or they call them after hours now. So I've been going. Mark went to the last one. John and I went to the last one.
Excuse me.
Tim
I
did.
go to most of them.
Yes.
101 might be fun.
Not as not in this.
I bring all my cards.
Oh, good.
Hmm?
Do you put a card for every
No.
in the fishbowl?
I only put one at a time in the fishbowl.
Okay,
Maybe we should just shoot short videos while we're there. Just make a video. 'Cause that's
that
what
would
we
be
do.
kind of fun. Onita would like that.
We
Anyway,
could have,
She doesn't make it to all of them.
we'll just have wherever they're hosting an event, maybe let them do a little blurb. You can put it up on the YouTube page
Put it
and
around
then,
with a paparazzi camera
and then hit them up for some money.
you gonna be the editor?
Yeah, I'm an editor.
Okay. Now, will you be the editor for this project?
Will I actually do the project? If I have time, I will do the project.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that offline. That's an offline thing. And then, are you gonna talk about the community awards thing?
I would take that offline if you want to talk about it now.
No, just as an
No.
announcement,
Yeah.
you know, that every year they do the community awards. Chamber sponsors the community awards at the Sheraton, where they best person of the year, and they have all these categories. And Anita had asked us if we would be interested in filming that, and John and I talked, and it would be a volunteer thing because we're not a production company. And so Mark and I have volunteered to do that, so we'll do that.
That's our
one.
first production.
That's our first volunteer production. Yes, yes,
Nice job. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
I might tag
Yeah.
along. Just,
Tightening our relationship with the community.
Well, you're holding the boom.
I could do that.
Okay, everybody wear black, remember?
Get it.
All
out
right.
of my
With that done,
brain.
everybody's looked at the agenda. Yes? Any changes we need to make? Any modifications?
Looks like the one that Marcia sent
Deletions?
out.
We could adjourn to McGuire's.
Yeah. Yes, happy St.
We're all-
Patty's Day, everyone.
We're all
It's
wearing
like the
donkey,
last-
it's trivia.
We're all wearing green.
You can. McGuire's will never be here again.
What's happening?
You mean Mr. Magoo's?
Mr. Magoo's. Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to
The
drive
other
there.
Mick.
There it is.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
Move.
Second?
Second.
Anyone opposed? Okay, approved. We have minutes for January 20 and February 21, 2015. Has everybody looked those over? Actually, one for January 20 is a Board of Directors meeting. February 21 is our staff and directors retreat at Neil's home. Thank you, Neil. That was a very lovely time. Yes.
Coffee was excellent.
The whole thing was excellent.
The
Yep.
view.
Aren't you sorry you haven't been coming?
Yeah, now. Where have I been, huh?
Yeah.
And
Okay. So are there any corrections, changes to the minutes? No? Seeing none, is
I will move both.
there a second for both?
I'll second.
Okay, anyone opposed?
I'll
Okay.
abstain on the first one and I'll vote on the second one.
Okay, should we split that up then?
Oh, I don't care.
Okay, we'll be a little informal this time. Minutes are approved with Fishman abstaining from January 20. Got that?
Yeah.
Okay. Treasurer's report, please.
Okay, well, you've all seen the numbers for this month, and John and I haven't actually talked, but it appears to be a very healthy month. We were over by $3,000 in receipts over expenditures. I'm assuming that has to do with positions that are opened, or was that just, is that where what we're doing in general now? Because we were about 3,000 over this month, which was very good.
You mean in reserve?
Yes.
Not black.
Yeah.
In the black, yeah. Well, a lot of it has to do with a lot of expenses come at the beginning of the fiscal year. We're not paying the big insurance bills.
Right.
No, we're just,
Are we heading, and I couldn't tell from this, are we heading for a surplus this year?
we could. That's sort of my standard operating procedures to try to,
But are we talking 5,000, 10,000, or is it 20,000, 30,000?
well, we've had 15 and 10 in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
I would say 10, because we are upgrading a lot of equipment. We've got a big staff now,
Yeah.
but things are in balance.
But in order to talk about, substantial upgrades in salaries or benefits or things like that, we need to come up with additional funding sources if we're going to be
I've
able to get
started
there.
working on the next budget, carrying over the actual numbers to see where we went over. We had a lot of fluctuations because things changed unexpectedly. We've got money, we'll have money coming in from Katati, not Katati, Rohnert Park. We've had 5 scheduled meetings with Rohnert Park and they've canceled 2, so we have 3. We've had 3 the last 2 months, and they're about 2 hours.
Yeah, but we get paid by the month.
We get paid quarterly,
Yeah.
based on an hourly rate.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
No, it's an hourly
I thought it
rate.
was a fixed.
We
fee.
bill them, we send them an invoice. We haven't yet, but that'll be the case. So I'd like to, I could calculate and extrapolate what we're gonna be taking, but I'd like to see the real numbers come in. And we'll be billing at the end of this month, so. we should-
So we'll save this whole discussion for budget discussion.
I'd love to have, when I get the budget done and we start looking at it, I'd love to look at that and review the salaries especially. We also got the Comcast check quite late this time, and I think the hang-up was in City Hall. There's a new finance manager, and he doesn't have the reflex to send our check over. The pig fees go to the city, in one check, they get deposited. There's a spreadsheet with a split out what goes to PEG. And we got the AT&T right away, but we went on quite a long time without the Comcast, and all I had to do was call and it came. Takes about a week for the check to be drawn and go through the mail. It actually went up $1,000 from the last Comcast. It was 48,682, and the one prior was 47,605. But the one prior to that was 48,080. So you could say we had the highest yet, 600 over the lowest, the next highest, but 1,000 increase from the
You
last.
trended those numbers over like 3 years or anything?
I've done averages on them, and we had a big jump in 2011 when we went to DIVCA. It went from 53 to 45,000.
Start there, and I was just
Start
kind
there.
of curious if you went back like 3 years, is there any trend up, down, or same, or
Definitely up.
because it seems if we look at it quarter by quarter, they're kind of up and down. So
Yeah, I do an average for the year. The 2011 was 45,328. The next year was 45,700. Then it went to 47,000.
because as you and I were talking in the street corner today, that with the way that some of the pay channels are going unbundled and allowing you to get them over the internet, if people opt to take their bundles off and buy them a la carte over the internet, the PEG fees will suffer.
The general trend is it's rising, both of them. AT&T is rising faster because they started smaller, more recent. 2011 was 7,800. 2012 was 9,100
Per quarter?
average for the year. 2013 was 9,500, a $400 jump. Then in 2014 it jumped average to 12,000 last year.
Whoa.
And Comcast is up to 48,000. So I have never budgeted with those numbers, so I'm gonna have a bigger budget there, but we need to watch it each quarter, because it could,
Right, so there's potential that the surplus could be 15 or 20,000
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
and it should be fed in. I think this is the year, we got so many new irons in the fire that we should take advantage of
So,
reinforcing.
so between raising, at least currently rising PEG fees, the Rohnert Park addition, and
Katai.
Katati, you know, and whatever fundraisers we may do this year, we really may have some flexibility to, you know, to try to get this staff into a more permanent professional basis, which would be a good thing to do. We have a lot of, you know, people come and go because we just can't pay enough. And, you know, somebody like Zach is so overqualified for here, yet you know, he's great that he stays around and does consulting for us. But to keep the staff on at these rates is tough.
And do we not need to consider having money set aside for the radio station?
Yeah, we do, but I
mean,
think
we
that,
can't just spread it all out and then get to that point with nothing.
That's true.
but that, I think the radio would be the hook for the fundraising. We would define it as, give us money so we can give you a radio. I got a report on the radio, we'll get back to that.
Okay,
And
okay.
we've also got personnel structural discussion in closed session.
Anyway, how's that for faking a treasurer's report?
Yeah, it was great.
Nailed it.
It was a little bit more robust than last time.
Thanks.
I have one more thing
At
to
least you
say.
act like you know what you're doing.
I never got to say this in January, but, you know, with Summit State Bank, we have an annual bonus points as a nonprofit based on our average balance. And apparently when we first signed up, they didn't have us down as a nonprofit. So when we corrected that, and it jumped from about $300 to $925.
Wow.
Hard.
It's
not bad.
It's not bad.
That's per month?
No, annual.
Oh, annual.
Annual. That came in January.
Great.
Good. Anybody have questions? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Nice job.
Executive Director's report, John, please.
Okay, I had a bunch of things. Things were hopping around here. We had a scheduled visit from a Cub Scout group. They needed to get their communication badge. They didn't show up. We were very disappointed.
Oh, wow.
Did they let you know they weren't gonna show up?
No, we called them today because we wanted to make sure that they knew we were disappointed and we wanted them to come back. And they said, well, we thought we were gonna get a confirmation. I'm not sure that's exactly true.
It never
Well,
happened when I was
You know,
with
they're
Dan later.
dealing with mothers and little kids. They're 7-year-olds, but we're very excited about that. We've got the green screen working. We were going to bring them in here and get Irish on it.
Is that movie paint?
Movie paint.
Yeah.
No, it's curtain.
It's specific green.
Specific green. Yeah. And we had a couple of Casa Grande students come in with their teacher. They have a class project to do a film. We're excited about that. We're starting to interview SSU interns and outreach to the high schools. Chris is going to the JC and a couple maybe next week or the week after.
Tell them to stop by and tell Matt hi for us.
Okay, Matt stopped by recently.
Okay. Oh,
Said
good.
hi.
The grass is growing higher in Sonoma Mountain Road. Never mind.
Oh boy.
It's because it's greener on the other
It's
side.
the time warp, baby.
I'm sorry.
We made a movie once in high school up there. And it's
Okay.
all grass. And actually, we did a production for hire recently. We had Marty Bennett from Living Wage called up on a Wednesday for a Saturday event, and we put it together and sent Max out there. He was a panel, a 3-hour series of panels, and Max has filmed it and is doing the edit now. Our LPFM radio update, Zach and I have been meeting once or twice since we had the retreat, and we got back in touch with Clay Leander. He's the consultant who dropped in out of nowhere and made it happen for us. We're looking now for call letters, and it looked like KPCA is available.
That would be cool.
And,
What a stroke of luck.
well, Clay, and Zach did a search. He's got a whole program where he can search, and his sister built it actually, because there's no other way to do it, where it kind of goes through each configuration, and he said it wasn't available, and then Clay dropped in. I said, jokingly said we'd love to get KPCA or KZAC.
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 How about KZAK?
That's the other option, yes. But Clay went in and found out that KPCA was taken by somebody for their first license, and they haven't operated since 2005. So he thinks by contacting the FCC he can liberate those letters. So that could be our call letters. And then the next steps will be to explore all the options that Clay laid out for us. One is that if we moved our transmitter, we might be able to get 24/7 because we'd be farther away from Sonoma Napa on this side. Or if we don't manage that and we have to do with the exclusivity where when Sonoma's on, we have to turn ourselves off. But we don't have to do that with Napa, so there's wiggle room on that. We'll start working through those elements, bring the other partners back in, and keep moving forward. We have our goal to have it up and running next year, and we have 18 months to do it. And if we're not finished, we can extend that 18 months by just showing that we have worked hard to get there. And of course, the actual operational costs, where we're going to situate the studio, how we're going to staff it. Matt, when he did stop by, he said that Mike Trainer is quite interested in setting up a curriculum around the radio station. So the JC
Nice.
could be quite interested in the developments there. City meetings update. I haven't heard from Katati. I think City Halls move on their own pace, and I think we're really situated well with the woman who's coordinating the whole process, so I don't want to bug her. But we're working with Ronard Park, struggling right now to really get a pool of people who are trained up there. We've only got one real operator, who's Francisco. And he's got another job now, and he's in school, and so we're gonna draft Will and get Will up to speed so he can be a rock solid backup. And we've got Nick and Max training. But the problem is we've had 2 training sessions planned, and those were the meetings that got canceled. So it's a day-to-day thing. I'll be doing another Art of Cinema lecture at the end of April on rock and roll. We're gonna have an art show called The Art of Rock. So I pulled out some
What's the date on that again?
April 30th
Rock and roll movies.
Is that gonna be at the Art Center again?
at the Art Center with our new popcorn.
The Woodstock and the Doors and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a bit of the Doors, but I'm not going to documentaries. These are more fiction films where it's integrated into the story or used to tell a story. It's how music
Like
is
this
used.
is Spinal Tap.
I'm missing Spinal.
Meatloaf.
But it's not finished yet. I still got a month. I drive Muriel crazy because I'm constantly changing. And
Actually, I don't know that movie well, so.
Spinal Tap.
Bottom.
And we've started, we're very close to launching our PCA on demand. The first rough draft is up on the website right now. This will be a way to go to pca.tv and click on a button and watch one of our YouTube videos, but without leaving the website. But we're working on a banner. We're going to call it PCA on demand and make it a big splash. I think we'll be launching it with the Bill Cordon Memorial video, which is in the final stages of being finished. And I've already had requests. When can I buy a copy of that? I missed it. It was great. I want another copy. I want to see it again. So that could be a big launch. We're not gonna race it, force it. We're gonna wait till it's ready to actually promote correctly. That's my report for March 17th.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, we don't have anything on the consent calendar. Thank you, John. I don't believe any committees met. So, item 10, old business, discussion and possible action on the 2015 Butter and Egg Day Parade plans. Did anyone take notes at the meeting when we met? I don't think, it was a real loose meeting. Rachel wasn't there. I can't even remember the date of the meeting, but we did meet, and trying to recall what we discussed.
Well, we confirmed the, where is it? The golf cart.
Yeah, we have the golf cart.
Everybody
That's
seen the
right.
golf cart?
Everybody was not involved in that.
No, it's gas.
That was
Oh.
that
And
was
we talked about how
It's
we
got
would
tie downs
design
and a
the,
trailer and everything.
the TV set.
great.
We talked about also adding the wagon with possibly some,
Towing the wagon is a little garden behind it, yeah.
So this is what we've become. We used to have a limousine, now we're down to a golf cart.
geez, you want everything, Neil.
It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be a cute little TV
You don't have
rolling
to
around.
I'm gonna be gone.
We talked about a handout.
Yeah, what do you care?
Oh, that's right. We talked about a handout.
And the handout was to promote
It was a save the date for
the Oscar.
Oscar night next 2016. And that's
Yeah.
kind of folds into our other agenda item, which is the fundraiser. But we have all agreed that it sounds like a fun event to have that Oscars night. So moving back over to Butter and Eggs. Remember how we handed out the tickets last year? Well, this would be a save the date ticket. Save the date, Oscars night coming February 20 something, 2016.
28.
A teaser.
And of course, joy and, you know, the basics.
And
but that'll
having cameras again.
If you
running
join, we'll
up
send you
and
a
down.
reminder.
Inviting George so he can do his camera
Cameras.
mania.
Do we want to put leftovers of Spanish English this year, or just?
Are we gonna have the translation discussion again?
Yeah, I guess. Well, no, if you said no, we don't need
No,
Spanish, then.
if we want to have it Spanish on the other side, I would want to pay somebody to translate it professionally. Doesn't have to be an overpriced translator. I just would feel more comfortable.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm asking.
We don't want
so
it
we
to
can-
say Oscar night on English side, and on the other night say porno night or something, you know? We want it to translate.
We might
Yeah,
get
more
more.
of the same.
Accurately.
That might be kind of.
Yeah.
That would be
I don't know.
popular.
I just know working in the
Yeah.
I've worked on bilingual issues at my other job for years, and translation is a very sensitive thing. If you're gonna have translation done, you need to have somebody that knows what they're doing.
I think would
A
be,
certified
what is the
paid-for
cost
Well,
to
that's what
print
I'll-
double-sided,
Yeah.
one language
No,
in
that's
one side
probably
and
the
another
best
language
for
on the
that.
other.
It's not double, but close. But if you throw in the translator and that.
Right, could be,
But it's a very simple piece, so it's not like it's gonna be hours of translation like in a legal document. It's just a ticket. It's
How many are you gonna do?
I don't know, man. They have, what, 30,000 people there. It's always the kids that reach out, and then it goes right on the street when it's not candy.
Mm-hmm.
So, 500 might be plenty.
well, maybe it should be handed to adults rather than children.
well, and also
us
in the
your
past, what we've done is we've tried to place those in different establishments around town, cash registers, so that people have a chance to see it
It
beforehand.
might be interesting to design it such that it's usable right up to January of next year. If we frame the date of it.
Yeah.
Or we'd have to do another one. Because if it's around the cash register, it'd be great to have that like the month prior to the event.
So the ticket format, are we gonna then sell tickets, or is that the?
No, we don't have to use the ticket format. This was an old one. This is one we used when we had an iPad giveaway.
That's not
Have
a
you
bad-
seen it?
That's not a bad idea. The ticket
No,
format
it's a
is
pretty
a
one.
bad
I like
idea.
Yeah, that was to encourage folks out there to go onto our website,
Okay,
we were trying to capture emails in
Well-
this.
I kinda like that ticket format.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we would have trouble with the Oscars in using the name without the copyright, and the image itself is copyrighted, and they police that pretty strictly. But,
So we might not be able to call our event Oscar night. We're
Mm.
kind of going
Oscar
back
party.
and forth here.
yeah, we're in a different.
Yeah, we're in
item
two
here.
different agenda items, but okay, so backing up a little bit here to the butter and egg day. Do we agree that we should put something out there? I mean, do we want to invest in that?
Say that again?
Do we want to invest in a
A handout.
handout?
Well, I mean, do we feel it's gonna be the kind of thing that's gonna get us people to come? I mean, it's early on, this thing is not until almost a year later. So
Right.
if we have a feeling it's gonna work, I mean, this fundraiser could really be a major fundraiser.
Yeah, it
If we
should
do
be.
it right,
Right.
we could make a lot of money on this.
But we talked about this being the first piece of communication about the fact that we're going to have a fundraiser and that we're going to have to spend all year talking this thing up.
So that's fine. I mean, let's not spend a whole lot of money. What are you talking?
Right, just to save the date.
Yeah, if we're
Right.
gonna spend $500, fine. We're gonna spend $5,000. That's too much.
We don't even have to say
I don't think
Oscars
that-
night on there. We can just say surprise.
No, we should plant.
Okay.
We should plant the seed that Oscar night is
All
going
right.
to be PCA's.
Well, and then we're
Okay.
gonna make this. This is going to be the dress up, fancy event for
Exactly.
Petaluma. And so start, buy your tux, and then we need to start talking about the companies that get tuxedo rentals cheap. And
Okay.
are you really gonna make it a formal? I mean, we.
Okay,
But-
let's
I'm-
get done with
I'm
butter and
saying-
eggs real
We'll get
quick.
done now. That's a whole.
Yeah, let's
thing.
get done with butter and
Yeah,
eggs, and then we'll do that one.
Okay,
I-
I think we
I-
should have a handout.
I
Yeah.
think that
I think we should have
I
a
think
handout.
that we should
I'll
limit
concur.
it to say 500 of them, and find out what it's going to cost to print 500.
Okay,
And so I move that we have a ticket of some sort with John's direction to pass out at the butter and egg
To
steak
plant
would
the
party.
you
seed that
would
we
you
have.
consider amending your motion to say
could.
pitch this back to the butter and egg day committee to do?
let's give
Yes.
them a budget
Let's
of
pitch it.
$500.
Let's not pitch it to John because we.
No,
we don't-
no, I
yeah.
meant with John's assistance on
Yeah.
how. I didn't mean that John would have to do
Yeah.
it.
Let's just pitch that back to the committee.
I'm for that, I'll second that.
I'll concur.
Were you gonna say something else?
I was gonna say something. I was just gonna say on top of the promotion for the Oscar night is to make sure hopefully we can put something on there to join PCA and
Yeah.
like not just that particular promotion, but hey, we're here,
Yeah.
come visit us, as well. So
Absolutely.
in case somebody does read it,
Absolutely.
And if we tie it into the fertile ground, homegrown media theme,
Okay,
pretty close with the
so,
price.
so
Ask for
there's a
business,
motion on the
basically.
floor, and that is that we agree that we're gonna have the ticket, and we're pushing this over to the committee to tighten it up with John's assistance. You're on the committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of working.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, so, do we have anything else on the parade that we need to?
Yeah, I have two things. One's easy. Going to put an ad in their handout. Deadline is April 3rd. So we're working on that.
Whose deadline is this?
The Argus Courier and
Okay.
the Press Democrat has an insert special for the parade, and will be mentioned this year as one of the sponsors in kind. And I think I'll pay for an ad. We did an ad for the chamber at one point, so I'll just reuse that.
Okay,
And then we were very close to ordering our t-shirts, and we've been around the block. I think we're gonna go with ice gray, looking like this.
Ooh,
that
I like
helps.
it.
Okay. We had lots of colors to choose from, but we got 3 primaries, so we went, it's been around the block here at the office. There's tans and there's yellows, but those, some are more feminine. Some people might not like it. This was just a neutral color. We tried it on white, which would be very subtle. So we're going to go with black, and I'll order them tomorrow, and we're going to get.
That's why we pay you the
Why'd they
big
choose
bucks
that
to make
font?
decisions about the
But
color
I'm just
of
curious why they
t-shirts.
chose that font.
Because it's crunchy.
It's called what is it called?
Earthquake.
Cause it's crunchy.
Earthquake.
No, I have a font called Earthquake. It looks a little bit like that. It's a little more, it's a little less organized, but.
I believe it was Kate who did this maybe 4 years ago,
Oh.
and the artwork has been approved, and I'm gonna just redo it. This year we just wanted to try it on a different color T-shirt.
It is crunchy.
Tasty.
No, crunchy.
And we will be getting ladies' sizes. We've got medium, large, and extra large, and men's sizes medium, large, extra large, 2X and 3X. That was what we've ordered in the past.
Can we wear our black shirts from last year?
You can wear. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it'll go great with black. I mean, it'll be a nice combo.
And we had black because that was the color of the camera person. When you're operating the camera, you wear black, non-reflective. That's why we've always had black shirts.
Everybody should wear black on set, yeah?
Especially when it's hot outside.
On set, yeah. We got this postcard in the mail. It says, "Thanks for your entry form. All your information was complete. Thank you for being so thorough." But it has our number, 44.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, we're up the
Sweet.
line.
That's better.
Totally
Woohoo.
moved up.
Yeah, we are
Last year we were 98.
pole position.
Were we 98 last
Yes.
year?
Yeah,
The year before we were like 100 and something, weren't we?
And then one year we were like number 5, and it was like a race. It was
Yeah.
So
fast
considering
at the
that
beginning.
everybody gets there late, that is the beginning. That's
Well, that's a good one. I'm
Yeah.
very happy with that.
Yeah.
So there's our butter and eggs there.
Ooh, I like that.
And what about the decoration on the
golf cart.
decorations?
We were hoping that you were gonna do the artwork on the cardboard.
You know, I don't really have those Photoshop skills currently under my belt.
Well, I did go down and look for the cardboard. They didn't have any. I left my card. No, I don't think that's a high priority for him to remember the next time I gets a big empty box.
Yeah,
Well, John
just-
Bertucci wants it.
Just call them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
it's a
think-
question of being lucky when I go down there. If it's there.
Okay,
just
and
call
I'll
them,
drive
call
by
them,
there
call
after work.
Okay.
All I
Or-
can do is ask them to hold it for
Well,
me.
at the very least, ask them if they still get pool tables and boxes.
They do. They have a
Oh,
shop
okay.
in the back, and I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, we
They get cardboard
We get
boxes.
cardboard occasionally."
So
and I
that
said,
should be handled. That's gonna happen.
yeah, if they get one in the next month, we got it. I'm gonna keep looking elsewhere.
Okay, so
Well,
we
these
need
things
to
are
have another
big.
committee meeting so
Mhm.
that we can take this
Yeah, it should be.
and punt this to them. Will you be at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Depends on
maybe
the day.
plan B if you can't get that cardboard, right?
Well, you should be able to get that. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get that.
Let's set that meeting date tonight before we leave.
There's another billiard hall up in Katati, isn't there?
I don't think they sell pool tables, so.
No, this
Okay.
billiard hall actually has a shop in the back where they sell
Okay.
tables.
I've never been.
Huge.
So they ship giant. I can't think of anything else that would have a giant piece of cardboard. I mean, a piano box
TVs.
or. This is big.
Big screen TVs.
This is like
Yeah, we
8
want
foot,
something
like-
that
50, 60, 70 inch.
envision something
No,
that's
I'm
gonna
talking
go
about-
smack dab
Oh.
against the side of this and make the cart look like a TV on wheels.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah.
And we're thinking then we would have the TV screen itself would be cut out so the person driving would be on
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
Right.
I don't have the Photoshop skills to make that thing happen though.
Looks more like a float that way.
I mean, I could
You know, it's a
struggle through
wonderful
it, but I'm
idea.
sure
I'm
someone around here has
so
better
sad
Photoshop
I'm not
than
going to
me.
be here for this.
We'll have someone film it for you.
We'll take it on the road. We'll take it to,
Okay.
to Istanbul.
Email it to me. I'll show it around.
We'll
It's
send
still
you a
We
link.
open.
We have one more board meeting before that
Correct.
parade, so.
Should have a committee meeting prior to that.
We'll
Absolutely,
set
at
that
least
tonight before
At
one or
we
least.
two, yeah.
And then a work party.
Yes,
You
a
could do that
work
before
party.
you
I
leave.
could. I'm actually kind of sad I'm not going to be here for this. I always enjoy that parade.
Well, you're not
And then we
pedaling,
need,
but you're
we
not
need
taking
to
it.
have people that are gonna be available to carry the sign,
Well, the banner, yeah.
which Jason, you said Jason was willing to do that? Is that correct?
I don't know if I asked him, but
Oh, I thought you said you had talked to
I
Jason.
will ask him.
I think Jason and his son.
Yeah,
The son helped tote the wagon last year.
Well, he's bigger now, he can pull a wagon.
I did go down to storage, and I think you have the
I have the poles,
PVC.
I pulled them out.
We've got the banner.
So we don't need to do anything to the banner, is that
No,
correct?
banner's straight,
Ready to go?
ready to go. I need some zip ties or something. See what we're
Yeah,
at.
we need to figure out something so it doesn't flap on the bottom like it did last year, but
Yeah.
committee,
Okay.
everything's
we'll work
going
on
to the
that.
committee now. Are we all okay with, that item, 10A? Okay, then we'll move to 11, new business, item A, discussion and possible action on board staff retreat goals. I didn't bring my copy of my goals with me, but, this list needs to be whittled down a little bit. John has some ideas on how he would like to see that done. Did everybody look at this when it was emailed out?
I don't think I saw it.
It came with the adverbs and adjectives. Did you see that list?
Oh, okay, I missed it somehow.
Okay, well, it's a lot of stuff that we need to,
Well, you know, the adjectives and the adverbs, they're fun to play with, and I could make a nice poster.
This,
On
I
the
think,
lexicon,
right.
the PCA lexicon, and these are glowing words, that kind
This is
of
the-
dynamic. But it's the actual goals that I think we need, it would behoove us to get them down to where we're all happy with them. And I think less is more, being simple. Marcia took notes and had a lot of stuff that really didn't penetrate my my brain that day.
Seems reasonable.
Raising the fees for the studio,
Oh,
that kind of thing.
yeah,
Because that was more operational. I was looking for more general areas that we need to really concentrate on. And I kind of worked it out that we'd have 3 the first year, 2 the second year, and 1 for the last year. Because
Do
realistically,
you
if we,
wanna,
This is what you came up with here? I mean,
Yeah,
that
here,
all,
this
that
is
all
what I
seems, this doesn't seem too much, does it?
No. But you'll see in the minutes from the retreat,
Oh.
there's maybe 3 for each.
I see.
And then some of them are redundant, and some of them are operational. I think the broad strokes is we really want to get this studio operating
this is the,
and explore additional revenue streams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's-
yeah, yeah, if this year, the rest of this year, we got the studio, we got more productions happening here, and we end, coming into the next year with a big fundraiser, that's a pretty good,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good 12 months.
this is what was in the minutes.
right, that's the list I was talking about, that's.
You want that?
that's for this year, that's a 1-year goal,
Right.
or 2 1-year goals then.
Well, so
Right.
the idea of training and pay and those things can't happen now anyway, and training can, but pay is
No,
still
the
up
first
in
year
the air.
I would think that this year that we're in now, we gotta get the studio going, we need to generate more content and additional revenue, productions for hire. We're very flush with staff, so I can't employ people to cover things for hire. Then there's always the outreach, the PCA branding, and the Oscar night.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a real thrust, we can start working on that right now. And then strengthening our staff structure, procedures. Nellie right now is working on the members handbook. And we're doing white papers for each city hall, and then the office culture and pay scale. So those are priorities for this year.
Mhm.
Next year is the radio. Not that we're not gonna work on the radio now,
Right.
but we wanna have the radio up and humming next year, and we also wanna get the member activity back up. And I would say, instead of focusing on members this year, we focus on it next year. Right now, so we get the structure stronger and get the word out and get the buzz going for Oscar night, and then bring in more members.
I mean, I think there might be things we can do this year for membership. I mean, it's not,
Yeah,
No,
but I won't consider it a failure if we,
if that's not a major accomplishment this year.
I mean, it's something these are things we do all the time, but I just focus.
So I'd like to just throw something in there. Usually when we do strategic planning and long-range planning, we talk about a concept called SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, some other, NRT.
Okay.
I like what we've done there. I think that reflects what we talked about and agreed upon. I would volunteer to help you develop them into something specific and measurable.
Okay.
You know, with
These-
something with numbers. This is pretty qualitative. So as qualitative goals, they're good.
Quantifiable.
But in business, you need to be, you know, dates and numbers, and
Exactly.
Can do.
so I will help you.
You know, the third year,
And I would suggest maybe we could hack this over and bring it back to the board in a month.
okay.
It's about a 2-beer meeting. And since neither one of
That
us drinks beer, it's gonna be quick.
That's great.
As long as we start at 10 in the morning, I can handle that.
I definitely don't drink beer, Ken.
And the last one, you know, we didn't have really a third year goal, but I think longevity, that's part of what we're trying to do with office culture and pay, is build loyalty and longevity.
Well, I think we can put numbers on there, and I think your approach to do 3-2-1 was nice.
Yeah.
It's a different approach, but yeah, it's a good touch. And I think maybe if we do this again next year, we'll ramp up and have maybe a full page, but it'll just stay there. Hopefully we'll knock some off and add some.
So I was trying to think of formalizing this as a poster with our proclamation goals, surrounded by adjectives and adverbs, and maybe some quotes, because some of the quotes are really great.
Okay, but so then can you take this and then form the grid that Ken was talking about with, you know, what's our deadline?
Mhm.
Who's responsible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
It all seems good.
okay, then we're punting this to you.
And then
No
we'll
action.
see you again in a month.
He scores! I spiked the ball in the end zone. It's quick.
7 points.
6.
Baseball's
six.
coming.
Kicker's gotta do something.
Baseball.
Baseball doesn't have
Better
content.
be baseball. Football, forget it. Niners are just.
Oh, please.
All right, are we
That's why I
done
did
with,
one of my sweatshirts today.
are we done with goals? Okay, one more item, that's, under new business, 11B, discussion and possible action on our signature fundraiser event and the planning. Kathy?
Cindy sent, I guess this just came to John and I. This was from Cindy, that she talked to the proprietor at Zodiac's, and they're excited that we might be considering using them for our fundraiser. They're at this point possibly willing to let us use it free, as long as we have a no-host bar.
Well, we
Yeah.
definitely don't wanna host the bar, so that's gonna be
Right.
easy.
And the only expense that she might extend us would be if there is security staff needed for the event, which is a good chance it might need that.
If Neil comes with
And he brings his rowdy friends in.
And then Jude has agreed to come on to the fundraising committee to help. According to Cindy, she's retired and she loves Oscar night, and she's agreed that we should consider Zodiac's. We also had talked in committee about possibly the Mystic Theater, so I contacted them, and as a nonprofit organization, we can use their theater on a Sunday night for $1,000. So there is $1,000 difference there from that to
So
Zodiac.
it's different.
But then do we run the bar? Do we get
They would they want a minimum of $500 is required for their bar.
So it's
To open it.
1,500?
Yeah,
To
it's-
stock it and open
right,
it and staff it.
Right.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And that they would provide a bartender, servers, and somebody at the door. We would be able to use both levels. They have supposedly state-of-the-art lighting and sound systems. They have a stage. They have tables, banquet tables, and chairs. And they will also do setup and cleanup. So, and then there's additional things that we can add if we want to do other things in regards to that. So those are kind of two,
So the fundraisers that seem to make all the money are like, Petaluma Educational Foundation, Mentor Me, Carousel Fund, and they're all kind of self-contained things. They run their own bar, they get silent auctions and other open auction
Yeah.
and all of that stuff, and they pull in $100,000. So I don't think we can. I don't know how much money we'll make at Zodiacs or Mystic if they're running the bar and we're charging $25 to get in or something, and you
You
don't
can
really
get a
in.
1-day permit
Marcia
also.
wants to pop in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Marcia.
I think, I wasn't aware that we had decided as a board, first of all, to have a fundraiser. And I think if we do, and we're gonna go with this idea, we should definitely, before we decide we're gonna do this, have a commitment to do it every year. And kind of realize that in order for it to become established as a signature fundraiser, we have to do it more than once. And we may not make a lot of money on the first one
Yeah.
Or two.
and plan for more. And I also think that we should set ourselves a budgetary goal for the first year that we're going to do it at, and figure out how much we're going to spend and how much we want to make before we talk about how we're going to do it. That's just my opinion, but
Well-
I think that's,
I think these two venues were just not necessarily that we had decided to do it. It was to get an idea of what was available for
It was
us.
just- it was
I
just a small
understand, I'm not,
brainstorming.
What's wrong with the
I'm not
website?
against it, I'm just
Right.
saying we should definitely be committed to doing it more than once.
Well, I thought we had agreed to all that at the retreat.
I thought we were committed to at least looking into it seriously.
Yeah,
And
I
we were
didn't
committed to
hear.
the idea of a multi-year thing. We also talked in our little meeting, I remember, checking out.
Did you want me to stay around? Or?
No, just lock the door and let ourselves out.
Thanks, Paul.
I will.
Hey,
We also talked at our little subcommittee meeting that we are aware that we're not gonna make the big bucks on the first one out.
Right.
So we wanna work out the bugs and get a good solid thing going and
Right.
create the buzz.
The Mad Hatter Ball started out very small, and they did not make hardly any money the first year. And that's your seed money. That's your seed money to start building up, as was with the Carousel Fund. Carousel Fund started out very small as well.
Yeah, I doubt that anybody ever really, cleans up the first year.
Right.
Well, I think there's two things. I think Mark had something that he wanted to put in as a possibility of another venue of where to have it.
I'm not opposed to the Mystic actually, but you can get a 1-day alcohol permit, and if you want to make some money, alcohol is going to be involved, I think, for sure. And then my only other thought is I'm not too keen on Zodiacs because it doesn't have that theater feel for me. I kind of would like to have like a theater feel.
It's more party, less theater.
I mean, could we do it? I mean, is the Phoenix just too grody for normal people?
It's pretty good.
Kind of looks like it from the
But
street. Yeah.
Veterans Hall, or the Veterans Hall up by Ray's possibly. Just a couple, just throwing
Herman's
some
Hall,
stuff against
Herman's
the
Hall
wall.
would be too small.
Just throwing stuff against the wall. The Veterans building down here.
That's too big.
So I'm just
But
splatting stuff.
Mentor Me does it down at the Boys and Girls Club, and they've done these sorts of things at the community center. I mean, that's really the question: is how many people do we have to actually work on this thing? And I mean, all the board members, I think we'd all have to commit to putting in some real time before this
100%.
thing.
100%.
And we'd also probably have to have staff doing a little bit of work too.
And volunteers from the community.
And do we have
Volunteering
that?
time, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we have that.
But what
And
we
a
need,
red carpet.
Yeah.
we need to form the core group now, and
Yeah.
I think right now it's you two, right, are working on it.
I'm game. I'm
Nellie
in.
is excited about it. She loves that kind of work, and Jude is a
No,
big asset.
Yeah, Jude plans Oscar night every year at my house, and I'm happy to
Share her with her.
make it
Merge it.
bigger.
Merge it for a piece of the action.
Well, and we ought to think about some way to make it really special. I mean, make it a dress-up thing, you know, encourage people to come in
Right.
limos or whatever, and
Well,
Hire a
Nellie is
photographer.
already looking at how to get a red carpet, how to get
yeah.
the little.
So we don't need a vote that says we're gonna do this year? and-
We
It
could,
really-
we should do, maybe
Well,
do a vote.
and-
Well, yeah.
And the top thing would be, is there any way we could get a movie star to be the MC or a director or somebody?
I have a big question.
Who do we know?
I think two things need to happen. Number one, we need to have a motion that we do want to
Yeah.
do this. And number two, what is our possibilities? I know you were looking into this as to being able to totally view the Oscars that night. Is that something that's going to be a
Yeah,
possibility?
Nellie's checking into
Nellie
it.
had done some research on that. The kind of thing is you don't want to call up the Motion Pictures Arts and Academy and ask them because
They'll say
you're
no.
dead in the water if they say no,
Yeah.
or you're on their radar. If you try to sleep
Right.
under the radar, it's not going to work. So she found some places, Monterio and Santa
Santa
Rosa,
Rosa
have done
does it.
those, but
Mhm.
she's not getting responses from that. She's still working on
We're
it.
trying to find out if this is actually even a thing you can do under the
Yeah,
Oscar rules.
the Oscars they police their copyright very carefully. You can't use the word Oscar without the copyright sign on it.
So public
And
viewing.
images of the statue
So
are.
do they just want an arm and a leg for the fee, or
We
do
don't
they
know.
just
We
want-
don't know. You know, it's like it's a.
Because we're kind of,
It's not like it's pay-per-view.
yeah,
It's like.
it's almost like in their best interest.
Well, ABC wouldn't agree with you because they want people staying home watching them.
Who asked
so they-
ABC?
Yeah, but
I
that's
don't
what it
think
is.
there's going to be a
That's
watchdog.
Disney.
Well, no, I mean, we're gonna be
I
watching in commercials and all
Yeah, no, I
at
think
a public
that's the
venue,
objective.
I mean.
That's the
you-
objective
It's
is
not a
to
pay-per-view.
project the actual Oscars and watch it in a convivial situation. Now we can dress that up with, we can have handouts of the forms, and people who get the most right numbers win a prize. If you vote for the best picture, best actor, and all that, and you got the most winners, you get a prize. Getting a star is an obvious idea. That'd be great.
Well, if we're worried about the copyright thing, there is usually they copyright the show, and it says cannot be reused in any form. In a lot of words, basically that means showing it in a bar and charging money for it.
Yeah.
So we have to get
I don't-
permission from
Well,
them.
that's basically what we'd be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We,
We'd rather
so we probably better get permission.
Oh yeah, we're looking into that, but
But
we're
I
trying to figure out
don't see
what
how
that's
it's-
involved by talking to people who've already gotten permission.
Yeah.
So that we can kind of strategize how we're going to ask for it.
So-
Is it good to
so-
mention that
I
you?
I think that
Call me
I,
Patrick Harris.
I personally have a problem with us making a decision to do it until we know we can do it.
I think we have to
Okay.
continue
Wow.
feasibility.
We can continue the research
Um,
process.
Because if we get a definite, that's it. I mean, I guess we could still say it's an Oscar night, but we're not going to show the
Well,
Oscar.
We just do it on a small TV in the corner.
Well, my other idea was not necessarily actually the Oscars, but maybe some local producers or some local short films, and maybe celebrate local Sonoma County shorts.
So it could be
And
like
hand out the PCA.
Like our own Oscars.
PCA awards
It's
night.
not
or
gonna work.
That's not the
Not
same
gonna
thing.
work.
Not gonna
We
be
did
the
that.
same.
People aren't gonna come out to watch local shorts when the Oscars are on TV.
Well, you do
Probably
it at a
wouldn't
different
be
time.
your
What
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Aquas?
Because we want to do
That
it
was
the
a pretty
same
good
night.
showing.
Yeah.
The same night
It's
as
On the same
Oscars.
night as the
I'm
Oscars?
just saying.
Oh, we're talking
No,
about
you
two
have.
different things.
Do you know how many
It's
Oscar
either an
parties
Oscar
go on in
party
this
or one of
town?
those, but it's not.
On Oscar night, there's huge parties in this town.
So
Yeah,
then,
it's a
Is
different-
it like
it's a
competing
different
with the
process.
Super Bowl? Because
so
that's a
then
tough
we
one
might
too.
be
No, it's like
competing with.
it is like Super Bowl for movie buffs.
So then we might be competing with.
Well, we have to
Um,
go, we have to make them wanna come to our thing instead of do their own.
Yeah,
Well-
everybody
And if
loves
they
to dress
don't-
up
Yeah, so it's gotta
and
be.
have their photos
It's,
taken while they're dressed
so
up.
it's gotta be a celebrity who's there. It's gotta be something, red carpet where you're a big man on
Right.
campus around town,
And
and
we
you
have a
get
photographer.
interviewed by
Great.
somebody about, you're
want
the
John
local
Travolta.
car
And we
dealership,
have
and
a
you get interviewed
photographer.
about your wife is dressed in a beautiful gown, and you're in your nice tux, or vice
And a
versa.
photographer. Everybody loves to have pictures of
Yeah.
themselves in
Yeah.
So
pretty
we gotta
clothing.
have the whole
And I think
shebang.
the elegance quotient is better served by the Mystic than the Zodiacs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
Yeah, the
that
Mystic
theater-
And
would
they
be
might even
great.
give us marquee space.
Yeah.
They might even help
what are we
us
gonna do here?
with
There
some
is a thing
celebrity
here, it
shit
says
because,
official
you know, if we can,
marquee.
excuse
what
me,
is it? I'm sorry, Neil.
stuff, I said. I'm sorry.
You talk too much
I
I'm
do.
sorry, no, I interrupted him.
because he didn't
He
stop.
said here.
I didn't stop. She's right.
Did you
Okay,
double up
there.
on your meds today, sir?
Marquee. Well, you got to pay for the marquee though.
$150.
Oh, that's nothing.
Oh my God, those guys! I can't.
Piece of
believe
cake.
Careful, you're on TV.
And we're putting 1,500 into the rest of it. The marquee is what's going to get your money back right there.
Yeah, I think the marquee
The
is.
150 will get that
I
1,500
just
all by
can't
itself.
believe them.
And
So,
drinks.
So
And they'll print,
We need
they'll
Klieg
print the
lights.
tickets for $75. They'll provide linens.
Does the Oscars land on a Sunday this year? Next year?
But
It's always on a
It's always
Sunday.
on
it's always on.
Oh.
Can we get Klieg lights? We need Klieg lights.
So
What's
is
that?
it
Those lights. that-
any other kind of
Yeah.
event then along the same lines like a PCA thing is out of the question? Am I hearing that right? And we are going to go with the Oscar thing or not, or nothing? Is that
I'm willing
Right.
to listen to anything.
Okay, I'm taking control of the meeting again.
Oh, no.
All right, I'm gonna ask, let's take a straw poll. How many here believe that we could make a fundraiser out of Oscar nights? Okay, we agree on that, right?
I guess?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy, what do you think?
Voting right here. I agree. Concur.
The audience is on
Do you like
board.
the idea?
No,
Just
I
from
think
the
it's-
outside perspective, that's
Okay.
never heard the idea because we're all gung ho.
Now, I think we need to take this offline into a committee, and then those who are really interested in weighing in on this anymore, come to that committee meeting, and then we do it there.
Okay.
you know, hammer out the
I don't
details.
think
Sounds
this
good.
is the
And in the
Sounds
spirit of the Brown Act, we won't vote on anything.
Of
Okay.
course not.
I'm happy to be
Or
on that
discuss
committee.
Right.
this- or-
so
I'm
do
gonna
we
filibuster.
do
I
we
get
agree?
it.
Okay, we agree on a fundraiser. Yes.
I'm
Anyone
concur,
opposed
I'm
to
in.
that? Okay. Yeah, I'm just taking a straw poll here. So nobody's opposed to a fundraiser. Nobody's opposed to the Oscar idea. Can we agree to have a committee take this away and at the next meeting have something solid, a solid plan that we can then tweak instead of us being the brainstorming committee here?
I punt it. And we just need the permission. So yeah.
Permission,
Oh, if we can actually show an
Yeah.
Oscar show.
right.
I
And
don't
so
know if the
I don't
cable
think there's
company
any
lets you know
action to
that.
be taken by this board right now. I think,
We have to have that answer first.
We need
Right.
to know that. The cable company might be able to.
So where are we forming
can
a
we,
committee
so
tonight?
can we have a committee so that we can have an idea of what the ask is to whatever venue we want to ask?
Well,
We need an ask. If we don't know what we want, how are we going to ask? That's part of what I'm trying to get at
feel
here.
that we
For
want.
permission
And then permission. Two things.
Okay.
Permission,
and the.
and then if we get the permission, we go to the Kenny O'Donnells and the Kristen McMasters and the veterans and the Boys and Girls Club. We have to know what we're asking for.
Yeah.
I mean, it
So
doesn't
we
sound
have
to
to
me
kind
like
of
we know
envision the
exactly
event.
what we want.
If the event is dress up, then
Right.
you're in a different level.
So I'd like to see the committee meet offline and say, this is what we want it to look like.
so do we already have a committee?
No.
Okay.
So-
So
Then
can
can
we
do
form
that
a
tonight.
committee?
Might be
Right.
able to use one.
Kathy, John, and I talked as in just a
It was a butter
loose.
and
It
egg
was
day
loose
meeting
converse.
and
Yes, it was
then-
butter and egg day committee meeting, and after the meeting, we were just bantering about what was discussed at the retreat.
Okay. So I'll be on a committee.
Okay,
I'll work on a committee.
so let the minutes show that we are forming a committee. I don't think we need to vote on that, do we? Does anybody feel like we need to vote on that? It's not a real action. Okay.
Not until we know we have permission.
Exactly. Okay, so Marcia's notes are going to show that on this committee will be Marcia, Cindy, Kathy, Neil,
and Nellie. I wanna.
And Nellie,
I wanna plug
and-
Nellie
and
in.
John.
You wanna be on it
No,
instead?
don't look at me. Don't look at me.
I think Rachel wants to be on it too, but I'm not sure, Rachel.
Yes, Rachel.
Oh. That's good size.
Let me know when you
That's
have
a-
it, I would like to
that's-
try, can't promise anything.
Okay. Will we have to notice this meeting, the committee meeting? We're gonna
If you have
have,
a quorum.
It's
we're gonna have a
practically a,
quorum
it's
on it.
practically
It
a board
is.
quorum, so it's
You
kinda,
know-
you call it a board workshop.
They'll just have to sue
Call it a
us.
board workshop?
Just forget it. Just
Okay,
let's
we'll
just
call
So
call
if we
it
call it a
meetings.
board workshop and we notice it, then we're okay. Okay. Alright, I think we're good.
And we won't vote on anything. We'll bring it all
No,
back.
it's
You can't, 'cause
recommendations.
it's a workshop.
It's
I
all
vote on
recommendations.
quorum
The
to
workshop
be-
has findings, that's it.
Right.
Which are read into the next board meeting.
This could be really fun.
I think it's, and everybody sparked with the idea, it just seemed to be like, duh, why didn't we think of that before? It's
I mean, it's
brilliant.
I'm
PCA.
excited.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm already worried about what
Very.
tuxes cost.
No, we'll cut
Save
it.
the
We'll
money
cut
on
a
the
deal with
tux
the
and
look.
donate it to
You better be
The
worried
local
about what Cindy's
tux
gonna
rental
spend on
places are going to be
Nordstrom for her
ecstatic.
dress.
I mean, they won't be. They'll be beside themselves
We
with
need-
We
glee.
need
Makeup.
to set 2 meeting dates
Nordstrom's.
before we leave tonight.
It's not, yeah, Macy's.
Okay,
Macy's
should we
makeup.
just do that right
Really?
now?
Why not?
Everybody get their calendars out.
Couldn't pause the camera while we're doing this.
Okay, so, Lord, we've got butter and eggs day too.
Well, we should do butter and eggs day first, because that's what we need
Okay,
is coming first.
so B and E is on the 25th. Are those your notes you're taking? Oh, man. Okay,
we
so,
want- Do we want to do a meeting in the evening? Do we want to do a meeting?
okay, we wanna do the meeting before the 21st of April, which is the next board meeting. So we want to do the week, I would suggest, okay, for butter and eggs, butter and egg day,
Mm-hmm.
I think we should do butter and egg the week of the 5th, and the following week would be
I'm going to be gone, but you guys
fundraiser.
can
Where
do
are you
it.
going?
I'm going to Istanbul
When are you leaving?
and Bologna.
When are you leaving?
Like the 13th or 14th of April.
You coming back?
Sometime.
Okay.
What
talk-
do you mean like?
Going
Don't you
for-
have to
going
go
for a
home?
Okay,
Well,
so-
we could probably meet without Neil.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay, well we
Yeah,
could,
that's
okay,
fine.
let's move it up a week. Let's say the first week of April, which has a little bit of March still left in it. We could do butter and egg then. That probably makes more sense.
So you're looking what?
You guys
April
weigh
1st,
in
2nd?
here. Yeah. The week of March 30th for butter and egg, and the week of March 6th for fundraiser.
How about Monday, March 30th?
Monday, March 30th works for me.
That's for butter and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Butter and egg.
At what time?
Is that okay with everybody else? Oh, that, you guys aren't in there. Okay, so the 30th, 3:30 at 5:30. Does that work?
3:30 to 5.
Does that work for you, Marcia?
that
Oh, you're
works.
not on that one.
No, I'm not on that one.
For
That's-
which?
Okay, we just
You're
have
on
to
that
check with
committee.
Rachel.
If that
Okay.
work for you?
Write it down.
Which
did.
one's that
Thank
one?
you.
March
I'll
30th.
get an
That's
email.
better
Friday
than
at
eggs.
5:30.
Do you read your email?
That's butter and eggs.
Butter and
I
eggs.
thought you,
But-
you're gonna, I thought for a minute you were gonna come here at 3:30 in the afternoon and meet till 5:30.
Yeah.
That's
the
what we
date
are.
is- No, the date is 3:30,
Yeah.
not the time.
March 30.
I
At
thought
5:30.
I did. See, I wrote down
3:30
the March 30,
15.
3:30 to 5:30. I did.
Yeah.
I wrote it
No, no.
down. I did.
I can't get up here until 5:30.
I'm thinking, well, Cindy must get off early
I was
that
thinking
day.
No,
this
no.
is interesting.
5
Okay.
3:30,
Five-
15,
Okay.
5:30 on.
5:30 to
on
probably
March
6:30 or so.
5:30 p.m. to
Okay, so butter and egg committee, March 30, 5:30 to 6:30-ish p.m. Okay, and the next week,
Oscar.
5:30 to 6:30. Is that what you
okay,
said, Cindy?
fundraising meeting, which day? Did you suggest the 6th?
6 is okay.
on Monday as well?
Yeah, Monday the 6th. Mondays are usually
I
work
can't,
for
I can't do the 6th.
Okay, 7th,
I can't do the 7th.
8th.
I could do the 8th.
Can you do the 8th?
I can do the 8th in
Eighth
the
is good for
evening.
me.
The 8th will
Okay.
work for you?
I'm gonna work during the
Okay,
day.
so
but
4/8, meaning April 8th, 5:30.
At 5:30.
Where at?
Here.
Here?
Everything's gonna be here.
In the lounge.
Volpe's.
Professor Plum
To
with
go.
the lead pipe.
We're gonna work out a deal.
Okay, thank you. I think that's it for that item. Anything else?
Okay.
That was 5:30, I'm sorry. Is that correct? 5:30?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Why don't you send out a calendar invite?
I just wanna
Like
ask if
real
Gary
people
still wants to be on
Lotus
the board
Notes?
after
No.
witnessing our meeting.
On real software.
Are you having second thoughts?
No,
Mine's
not at
Lotus
all.
Notes.
As I said, I worked with the San Diego St. Patrick's Day Parade for a couple, 3 years.
Here's your
Would you like to
Do you
join
need
us
to
on
be on the
these?
committee?
We'll take it as we go.
Okay, so you wrote, you made note of the dates.
I made note of the dates.
You're welcome to join.
Right.
I'll take a look at what.
And
You mean
Yeah, I
right to the
basically
notes.
explained to Jerry that he should come to this meeting and then be available if any of you wanna call him and ask questions,
Right.
get to know him better, and then we could put it on the agenda for an appointment next,
That's the way we do
That's the way I
it.
understood it.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely, but that doesn't
But
mean
we'd welcome you at the committee
Yes.
meetings.
on
I
and
understand.
okay, and just to further clarify, on either one of these committees, we're never gonna say no to anybody who's a non-board member that wants to volunteer time to be on these, so.
Absolutely.
We are the committed part of the committee, and then we welcome any help we can get.
Understood.
We're a
Equal opportunity.
Boy, we could,
Yeah,
we're
we're an
doing commercials,
organization
we
of
could show
volunteers,
student
so-
films and things like that.
we
at
can
the Oscar
what?
night.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
I think we really wanna stay with what's happening at the Oscars, cause that's gonna.
If we
give it-
could get that, that'll be our
And we
signature.
would plan our things, so when they go to commercials, we have somebody come out and tell jokes or, some kind of
Do
entertainment or
a,
do our
draw,
own.
do a drawing.
drawing.
But I
Jason
I
can
like
play
your
the
idea
guitar.
though of having a celebrity
forward to
on the
the
red
commercial.
carpet.
A celebrity
That would be
MC.
Neil, how are you today?
Now that celebrity MC might
Did you
wanna
come to visit
get
tonight,
paid
or
for it.
are you happy about this?
We're not.
You know?
Winona Ryder, isn't she the only
She's
homegrown
not even
movie
from
star?
around anymore,
Yes,
so.
she is from here.
Original.
And
From
and,
Petaluma.
and Lloyd
Couple.
Bridges was from here, so we can get his son,
The other one
Jeff
that was,
Bridges.
that was actually from
Yeah.
Sebastopol was,
The dude.
oh no, what's her
The
name?
dude.
I can see her face, I can't place her name.
Here?
No, Sebastopol.
Oh.
She was from Sebastopol.
Who?
Fields, Sally Fields.
Oh, I didn't know
Sally Fields from Sebastopol?
Mhm.
Really?
Maybe we can get David
I knew
Griswold.
I liked her, I knew I really liked her.
Right.
that. Tom Waits.
There's that.
Okay.
There's that guy that dresses up
Maybe
in
we can
old
close the
Petaluma
session, it'll be
Pete.
short. Session.
Okay,
Okay,
moving the agenda now.
Okay.
That's,
That is all we have. Old business and new business is complete. We're gonna close. Now we're gonna adjourn to closed session. And that would mean
I
that
so
we're gonna
moved.
shut off the camera and thank everybody for being here.
Do we have
St.
to,
Patrick's
do we
Day.
have to move to
Yep.
And good night and thank you for being with us.
Pretty much have to-
When Irish eyes are
I
coming.
move that we adjourn the
Adjourn to
meeting.
closed session.
Oh,
Okay, is there a
Danny
second?
boy.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, anyone opposed? We're closed. Thank you. Good night.